Welcome to our loyal followers. In this video we will suggest to you the topic of raising fish at home. We will provide you with some fish farming basics and important tips for successful conservation of your fish. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new and support us with your comments, submit your suggestions and like the video. Let's start and have fun. Breeding ornamental fish is one of the most popular hobbies in the world, as many people enjoy collecting and raising fish. This is for the purpose of entertainment, and some people like to use ornamental fish to decorate their homes because of their beautiful view that increases the beauty of the places in which they are placed. They are among the most beautiful pets in their various shapes, types and sizes. In addition to that, they give a sense of vitality, happiness and calm nerves, and anyone can raise ornamental fish at home and take care of them with ease, but there are many methods that must be taken into account in order to be able to raise fish in the correct way, as it is necessary to know the most appropriate methods for raising ornamental fish and create the appropriate atmosphere for them according to their type in order to maintain them in good health and make them live for as long as possible. The pleasure of raising ornamental fish is due to seeing its movement and enjoying its beautiful appearance. There are many types of ornamental fish, which differ in their shapes, colors and sizes, including the following. Neon tetra fish. This type of ornamental fish is very popular, and is characterized by its small size, as it does not require much care, and has distinctive and beautiful colors. Guppies. This type of fish has its bright and beautiful colors, and does not require much care, as it adapts to almost all water conditions, but it needs a moderate temperature, and it feeds on plant and animal foods. Oscars. These are fish that need a lot of care and attention. The rainbow fish. It is a sparse fish, native to Australia, and needs great care, and is distinguished by its amazing colors. Betta fish are large, multicolored fish that feed on plant and animal foods. The first thing to start with when thinking about raising fish is choosing a tank for it, and fish tanks are of two types. They are the glass aquarium, which is one of the most widespread and used types, and this type is distinguished by its weight, and the second type is the acrylic aquarium made of transparent reinforced plastic, and this aquarium usually has a more beautiful appearance than the glass aquarium, but one of the disadvantages is that it is easy to scratch in addition to its high cost. The following is the most important information about aquarium care methods. Aquarium care methods. It is imperative to pay attention to an ornamental fish tank to keep fish in good health, and there are many things that must be adhered to and followed when caring for a fish tank, including the following. First, the accurate regulation of the amount of oxygen flow. Oxygen is a basic requirement for fish life, so it must be taken into account to regulate the amount of oxygen flow in accordance with the existing fish species, using an air pump. Secondly, placing aquatic plants in the aquarium. The placement of aquatic plants in the aquarium is of very great importance, as these plants have a great role in the process of photosynthesis, absorption of carbon dioxide and the production of oxygen. Third, placing filters or some mollusks. The presence of filters or mollusks, such as snails and mussels, are among the most important things that must be available in the aquarium, because of its great importance in filtering the water, replenishing it and cleaning it from the dirt that accumulates inside the basin. Fourth, choosing a suitable tank. You must choose a suitable tank in proportion to the size of the fish, taking into account the rapid growth of some fish and their different size upon adulthood, as some fish can grow quickly and reach large sizes even if they are small when purchased. Fifthly, choosing the right place for the basin. You must take into account the placement of the basin in a suitable place, and the place should be away from direct sunlight. Because the sun heats the water, which leads to the death of fish, it is also important to place the aquarium on flat ground that does not contain any inclination, and it is recommended that the basin be close to an electrical outlet in order to connect the devices that pump air into the aquarium. Sixth, organizing lighting in the aquarium. Aquarium fish also need adequate lighting, so it is possible to put artificial lighting with lamps for aquariums, which have many different shapes and colors that make the aquarium beautiful, and help to create a constant light cycle for fish similar to those in nature. Seventh, changing the aquarium water. Changing the pond water is a good procedure for the fish in the pond together, and the change can reach approximately once every 2 weeks, with an amount of 10 to 15% of the aquarium water. This is to keep the aquarium clean and healthy. Eighth, temperature regulation. You must ensure that the temperature in the aquarium is suitable for the type of fish present. To protect them from disease and death, as ornamental fish live at certain temperatures, and the appropriate temperature differs in fresh water than in cold water. In freshwater, temperatures should range between 21-27 degrees Celsius, and in cold water between May 13, 20 degrees percentage. Ninth, not to put a large number of fish in a small tank. The overcrowding of the fish tank leads to a lack of oxygen, which causes the death of the fish, so the number of fish in the tank must be proportional to its size. How to clean a fish tank from gravel. There are stones in fish ponds to help get rid of excreta and waste, due to their ability to produce useful bacteria. Without the presence of these pebbles, they will change the water in close periods of time, and it is also a home for fish as it creates a nice and comfortable environment for them, in addition to its beautiful shape inside the aquarium. And for cleaning the basin of gravel, must follow the following steps. 1. Putting a bucket of water and mixing a little old water with the new water so that the water conditions do not differ for the fish. 2. Transfer the fish to the bucket and separate the electrical equipment. 3. Drain the pond from gravel. 4. Clean the basin with a regular water tap. 5. Put the pebbles in a bucket, then turn the tap on it and flip it until it flows into the bucket. 6. Clean the basin with warm water without using soap. 7. Clean the thermostats, filter, and tubes and wipe them with a paper towel. 8. Return the clean gravel to the basin. 9. Fill the tank with cold and clean water. 10. Connect the electrical equipment, and then return the fish to the basin. Cleaning algae from the aquarium. It is difficult to notice algae inside the tank because it is small or it is eaten by the fish, but once the algae sediments become large, they must be cleaned, as spots will be noticed in the fish tank as the algae are present at the bottom. Then special cleaning agents can be used in retail stores. Sinks. So the best way to clean the algae is to remove the substrate and clean it thoroughly, as it is not cleaned well with brooms. Cleaning the decorations and rocks in the aquarium. The decorations must be cleaned in a timely manner, as they become dirty and affect the view of the aquarium with the passage of time. To clean them only, they must be removed from the basin when changing the water, then put in a bucket, and using water, vinegar and a toothbrush, they are cleaned, then rewash it with water, and put it back in the basin again, as this process does not need much effort. Cleaning new gravel. It is important to clean new gravel before placing it in the tank, because the new pebbles may cause pollution in the basin and make its color appear dull, so it must be washed well before putting it in the basin, and this process is done by placing the pebbles in a bucket in the form of groups in appropriate quantities until they are cleaned well, because if the amount of gravel is more than 5 pounds it will be difficult to clean and it will not be cleaned well. Then put water in the bucket to cover the gravel and turn it over. When the dirt and dust float on the surface of the water, change the water must be done again, and this process continues until the water becomes clean and free of dust, and then it can be placed in the fish tank lightly. Most fish are satisfied with eating one portion of food per day, and that is sufficient for their needs, and the breeders prefer to divide this part into 2 small meals, which are fed at separate times, and it is advised to ask specialists about the number of appropriate rations for fish, as this varies according to its type and nature. But breeders prefer to reduce these quotas as much as possible, because fish may eat even when they are not feeling hungry, so doubling their portions will push them to increase the amount they eat constantly. It is imperative not to exaggerate the quantities of food and food provided to ornamental fish, in order to preserve its health and strength, as the exaggeration in the amount of food given to the fish may lead to an increase in its weight, and therefore it should be avoided to provide it with nutritious meals that exceed its need. Otherwise, be careful to avoid fish that contain high levels of fat, because they may lead to liver problems, and their accumulation leads to another weight gain. Large fish can be contaminated, and can make tank filters block or make the water toxic. All of these effects may harm the fish and affect their life and health. It is difficult to judge the right amount of food for a single fish based on many factors, including the type, breed, size and characteristics of the fish. You can try the correct amount of food for your fish by spreading a little of it over the tank, and waiting for the fish to react. When he eats everything that is placed in the aquarium, he is given more, and it is assumed that for several minutes, or about 5 minutes of it specifically, and the fish eats enough food to fill its stomach, and it is possible to conduct the experiment several times to ensure the appropriate amount of food for the fish. It is advised, as a matter of caution, to reduce the quantity in the beginning as much as possible, even if it is less than the required thickness, as it is better to exaggerate it. Healthcare for fish. Like other living things, fish need healthcare when they are lazy, or when you notice any change in them, so it must be taken to the veterinarian to perform the appropriate procedures to treat them, and it is indicated that the sick fish should be placed in a separate tank from the healthy fish. Diseases of ornamental fish. Ornamental fish are infected with various diseases such as parasites, bacteria, and viruses like all other living organisms. Therefore, you must always pay attention to the health of the private fish so that the infection does not spread quickly through the water and the infection spreads among all the fish in the aquarium, and attention must be paid to the need not to put the infected or dead fish in any public waterway, so the best thing that can be done is to return them to the store owner, which was purchased from it, in order to get rid of it properly. And one of the most important symptoms that you should pay attention to and act directly when noticing it on fish is the following: loss of appetite or weight loss is remarkable, skin sores or fins eroded, loss of bright colors and fading of the general appearance of the fish, abnormal flatulence, loss of ability to control buoyancy, swimming abnormally, swollen eyes. We hope you liked this video and provided you with useful information and benefited from it to help you raise your fish in the future. Wait for us in upcoming videos and other important topics. Bye.